Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having episode 1 of the new video build here at Genesis Models, which is going to be our Hawker Hurricane and Spitfire rapid video build. Now, rapid video builds are a bit more fast-paced, a bit more intermediate, a bit more advanced compared to the step-by-steps we do, which is just from beginning to end, which is for beginners upwards. Now with this one I wanted it to be a rapid video build because I've got two kits going on here. I don't want to be going off and sort of boring you, going off and doing step by step of the Hurricane and step by step of the Spitfire, at least with a rapid video build style footage we're doing here. You know, I can be jumping from our Spitfire here to our Hurricane, jumping from this, jumping from that, maybe sort of show you two techniques, maybe one technique on the Spitfire, one technique on the Hurricane, and then we can show you and bring them together and just show you the differences and the ups and the downs. So it's quite cool doing a sort of duo build here. These kits as well, they are sort of new tools from Airfix, especially the Hawker Hurricane here. That has like literally just come out 2015. The Spitfire one I think was last year or something, but it's, you know, a relatively new tools going on here. They're probably not the best like Spitfire Mark 1 you can get out there, you know, but it's just nice to stick with Airfix on this one because, you know, they are cheaper than some of the like say Tamiya. We did a step-by-step actually, the Tamiya Mark 1 Spitfire. That one's really nice, but it is a bit more expensive. This one looks really good as well. You know, it looks like it's going to go together rather cool as well. So you know, we're going to be building these now. If you want to sort of see more episodes of this, you know, go to Genesis Models website, and there's loads and loads of other step-by-steps, rapid video builds, in-box reviews, product reviews, tutorials, all sorts of things. You know, go there and you can find out about all the videos that we do here at Genesis Models. You know, and the forum's free as well, so you can go there and join in with group builds and all those kind of things. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to do a couple of inbox reviews just to show you these kits. Now this Hawker Hurricane, I have done an inbox review of this. It is up on the Genesis Models website. You may have seen it, you may not have seen it. This kit, this Hawker Hurricane, is the same what's in here, apart from this one has got like the ground crew stuff. So you know, I'll show you the inbox review for this anyway. You can fast forward if you've already seen it. We haven't seen the Spitfire Mark 1, so I will, you know, throw this in next as an inbox review, and I will just touch on this box here because it's got the ground crew, and we'll have a look at them, and then we'll get cracking with the build. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this. Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having a inbox review of Airfix's 1/48 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. Now this is a kit that I have been waiting for. As soon as I knew that Airfix was doing this kit as a new tool, I really have been waiting to get my hands on it. As you can see, box art looks rather lovely. A little bit of a collision there with 109. As you can see, we've got two markings that are going on there. A bit of sort of pictures just showing you a few features on this, and again those two markings there. Now the packaging, I've already gone through this and everything, but the packaging is rather good quality, you know, pretty much separately bagged, a lot of it but not all of it. And just to get started, right, we will jump into the instructions. Now this is April 2015, and this kit was released April 2015, and it is a brand new tool. Remember, brand new tool, so you know we're all good now. Airfix instructions that come with this kit, you know, this is sort of like the new style of instructions that are coming out from Airfix. Hopefully, as you can see, we have different colors going on here. You know, Edard made those absolutely fantastic instructions where everything's colored, showing you what glues to what. You know, an Airfix has now picked up on it. Now, you know, we basically with instructions, you know, it's a typical sort of, well, it's sort of a typical build. You do sort of make this whole framework first, and then you glue the cockpit to our lower wing section, and then we bring our top wing section together, which we can cut out and have all these lovely MGs on show if you so wish. So that's a really good option there. And then you bring the fuselage half together and put that on top of the cockpit wing section part. So actually it is quite different actually. So a normal World War II type aircraft, flaps up or down, rather cool option there. I think there's two types of propellers you can put on as well, landing gear up and down, and then we've got two sets of markings, which is of the I do believe it's earth brown and dark green, which is a sort of like a nice Battle of Britain sort of camo scheme going on there, and we've got two of them. Decals with this kit, doesn't say who they're printed by. I know Airfix, they do get a lot of their decals now from Cartographer, but it doesn't say anything on there. But to be honest with you, they do kind of look and feel like Cartographer. I do believe we can sort of read the writing. It's got like a nice satin finish. You know, the colours are nice, it's nicely in registry. We do get an instrument display panel if we so wish as a decal, which is rather cool. So, you know, decals are looking rather good there. Right, let's get started with the actual sprues. Right, first sprue here we have the top wing section. So let's have a nice look at this. Just zoom out a little bit more. Hopefully you've just seen what we've got here is we've got our recessed panel lines going on. I'm not seeing any recessed rivets on this one though. We do have like raised rivets going on, but actually I mean the recessed panel lines, they are very crisp, very sharp. They'll definitely take a wash. Possibly they are maybe out of scale a bit. I don't know, they feel like they might be a little bit too big, but you know, they are still really good, and actually it is quite a typical surface detail that you get from the latest Airfix kits. We just have the underside of the wing section here. Again, same kind of surface detail. Still not seeing any rivets, but to be honest with you, I mean, if you could go off, put that time in and actually do a load of your own rivets, I mean, that would look absolutely smashing. We've got sort of like some bulkhead detail going on just here as well. They're going to look quite good because that's going to show off all your MGs and your landing gear. Yes, we do have some rivets just here by our wheel well door. Right, let's turn that over, see if we've got any. Oh yeah, we've got some nasty ejector pin marks just in there. Hopefully, Jim, just seeing, absolutely mahoosive. But then actually I think, oh, that's quite nice. Actually no, I think this is for landing gear down, I'm just guessing. And then this one is for when you have the landing gear up. And the ejector pin marks in there is where basically the main part of the landing gear leg's going to be. So they're going to be covered up. So actually that's not too bad. So don't need to worry about that. Moving along, we have our sprue just here, which is all our sort of little bits and bobs, and you know, the pieces. I mean, it's a brand new tool, so we've got no flash going on here. You know, it is, as I say, quite nice, neat. You don't, the surface of the plastic does feel nice and smooth. It's not rough. There's no need to do any sort of like sanding down. We've got our pilot just here as well. Hopefully, as you can see, you know, for out of the box, is rather nicely crisp and all good to go. We do have our panels here, which is for the MG side of things. If you want to sort of like cut the panels open, you do get the pieces for those panels, which is rather good. But you know, we've got some really nasty ejector pin marks in there. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to sort of do that option, those ejector pin marks are going to be hard to get rid of. But you can always just get away with sort of laying them down face up. So you know, you could get around it that way. Cockpit detail, you know, it's okay. It's not like you know, it's not brilliant. I mean, for out of the box, it's just okay. I mean, you're probably going to want to go off and get, well, close the canopy, put the pilot in, or go off, get photo etch, that kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure, you know, Edard's probably going to get on that at some point soon. Then we have our fuselage section. Now the fuselage section, you know, is, you know, surface detail is just like all the rest of the kit, but we do have, which is rather good actually, we do have this sort of fabric material, sort of lumpy bits going on, which is all part of showing sort of like the ribs of the aircraft, the wooden framework that's going on in there. Hopefully I'm just picking that up on camera. You know, so that's a nice to see they've got that. Looks quite nice. Maybe it's a little bit too sort of faded, maybe for my liking. I think it maybe should be a little bit more pronounced than that, but you know, it's still good for out of the box and looking rather nice and crisp. We do have, this is probably an indication of what is to come. It looks like we do have a piece here, piece 2, which is going to be for the arrestor hook for probably the Royal Navy version, an aircraft carrier type. So it's nice to see that. We probably are going to be seeing, definitely going to be seeing different types coming out. So that is all the plastic parts, apart from the canopy section. Okay. So let's have a look at the canopy, and the canopy does look rather good. I'm always quite worried with the canopies from Airfix, but looking at this, it is looking very nice, very shiny, hopefully, as you're seeing there. And yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of nasty spidering, because you can get that from Airfix quite a lot. Actually, these canopies are actually really good. I'm glad to see that they haven't messed it up at the canopy, so well done, Airfix. So this kit, all in all, I mean, the kit costs £16.99, which is actually a really fantastic, nice, cheap price for a brand spanking new tooled Hurricane Mark 1. You can't really beat it. I have seen the Atelier, and you know what, the Atelier one isn't as good as this one as far as I'm concerned. If it goes together like, say, Airfix's new releases that they've been doing, like the Spitfire and everything, this should be an absolutely cracking kit. I know Hasegawa, they do their version, and I think it is a bit, it's more expensive, and it's I haven't really seen one, so I can't really comment there, but this is looking very nice, and I really wouldn't mind building this one myself. So hopefully, you know, you've enjoyed this inbox review, and hopefully, you know, you're going to go out and buy one of these, because it is a favourite aircraft of mine, as well as it being a nice new tool by Airfix, and it's really looking good. And you know, if I get the opportunity to do this as some sort of a video build, I most likely will. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed. My name is Bobby Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed. So here is the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1 kit, 1/48 scale by Airfix. Really nice you know, box art going on there. It does open up into a nice box, rather than a, you know, where you have to sort of open it up at the side, so you can keep all your pieces. Rather nice there. So taking a look, I have already opened just to have a look at this. We'll just jump straight in with a nice bit of surface detail, very similar to the Hawker Hurricane surface detail, where we have this really nice smooth surface. All the recessed panel lines and rivets are, you know, very crisp, very consistent, very consistent. We do have recessed rivets in there, not as many as you might like, you know, but it is very neat, tidy and crisp. Top of the wings as well, same sort of detail going on there, looking all rather good. And then we do have like a little bit of wheel well detail in here, not much, but you know, there's something there, you know, not looking too bad. Right then, let's move quickly along with some more of our sprues here. Right then, we have cockpit detail just here as well. That is looking, you know, rather cool. If you ask me, we've got some nice crisp detail in there. Few other little bits and bobs going on around this. We've got our propellers, you know, there's no flash on this, and there shouldn't be for something that's a nice new tool. We've got some engine cowl stuff going on here with sort of like raised bolts as well. Detail looking rather good there. Different propellers going on here as well. Ejector pin marks, we don't seem to have any in those nasty places where you don't want them to be, so that is rather good. We've got another sprue here, which we have a pilot in here as well. He's looking rather good for out of the box. Bit of cockpit detail there. We've got landing gear here, which it looks like we're going to have a choice between different landing gears, which is nice to have those options going on. And I'm not seeing any nasty ejector pin marks where you don't want to see them. Bit of cockpit detail there as well. Let's turn this over. Our wheels, to be honest, they're looking a little bit on the plain side, but maybe we could jazz them up. Seat there, not too bad for out of the box as well, so looking good so far. Then we have our fuselage section, all one piece, right? And as you can see, same sort of surface detail that we had with the wings as well, nice and crisp. We've got raised bolts just here around the engine cowl as well. As you can see, looking rather cool, rather good. Inside we do have some sort of detail going on just at the back, but I do believe you basically build the whole cockpit as one, and then you slot it in between these two fuselage halves. So I don't think we've got to worry about any kind of ejector pin marks and stuff going on inside there. Then we have instrument display panel. Hopefully, as you can see there, looking rather good. Right, a nice bit of decals maybe in there, and that would be rather cool. We've got some more, looks like we're going to have a couple of different options here regards to the actual cockpit area. But as you can see, detail in there is already looking good. We're going to be gluing bits and bobs on there. You know, we're going to end up with quite a cool cockpit. And then we've got all our sort of flaps and tail bits and rear wheels just there as well. Yeah, looking all rather good. And then we move along. Let's get my blade out, and we've got quite a few options on the side of canopies. Right, so as you can see, I mean, these are looking really shiny. I mean, this actually, to be honest with you, is rather impressive, because I know Airfix, they can do these really cool kits, and they just cock it up sometimes at the end with the canopies, because they've either got cracks in there or they've got spidering cobweb effects, but these are looking really crystal clear. And as you can see, we've got all sorts of options for like open, closed, and the bubble shaped canopies and everything, so really giving us a load of options there, which is really nice to have the options. Let's bring you out. Then we have, just in here, we have the decals. Now these decals, they don't say who they're made by, but I have noticed that Airfix gets them from Cartographer, but for some reason they don't seem to let Cartographer put their name at the bottom to say they was printed by Cartographer, but they are normally really good decals from Airfix, so we shouldn't really have a problem. Micro Solid Set should sort this out rather nice. We do have decals for our instrument display panel here, which does have, you know, your dials and everything, so getting them to go onto the plastic parts shouldn't be that bad, and it should look rather good. You know, we can basically make out some of the writing going on here, the smaller print. It's in registry, it's got like a matte type finish to it as well. Colours looking good and sharp, you know, really nice decals there. Then we come to some instructions, which I'm just going to quickly just go through just to kind of show you maybe what options and what the instructions are like. You know, Airfix, they've started taking on this nice role of, you know, they colour things out where things are going to be glued to make things a bit more clearer, and we end up with all sorts of different options, right, with this one. As you can see, we're going to build the cockpit into like its own little sort of compartment, and that little compartment is then going to be, you know, sandwiched between our two fuselage halves, which is rather cool actually. It does give you a bit more freedom when you're doing it that way. It does note that what you might need to cut out or not, depending upon how you're going to have your canopy. Moving along, you know, this kit is going to give you the options of cutting out all these different panels and everything, so as you can have all of these nice MGs on show and sort of having it in, say, a bit of a service or rearming or something like that, which is rather cool. Right, and just moving along, you know, everything else is pretty much standard. It is quite nice as well how they do really sort of go into detail, telling you, you know, what is the exact angle of the landing gear. As you can see there, that's a nice little note that they can put. And here is where you get, this is the reason why you get all those different canopies, is so that you can have canopy open, close, and the bubble shaped one and everything, which is all good. And then we have a couple of markings here, well, just 3 markings, which is rather cool as well. We've got our yellow nose there, and we've got the half black and white underside one as well. So, you know, not bad on the markings. So all in all, this looks like a cracking kit. It looks good quality, nice new tool, great decals, the canopies, they're finally, you know, getting that canopy thing right. So yeah, definitely a well recommended build. So here is the ready for battle Airfix 148 scale, which has our Hurricane in here, which, remember, you know, you've already just seen that inbox review, but what you get extra with this kit is we get these extra kind of trucks and refuelers and carts and ground crew and everything, which just adds that little bit extra. So as you can see, nice box art going on there. Now I just want to kind of rush through this one because I don't want to take too much time, because really you've already seen our the Hawk Hurricane, but just to kind of show you, the ground crew does look cool. We've got some sort of hose stuff going on here as well, but just to bring you in on our ground crew and pilots. Right, hopefully what you're seeing here is, you know, we've got some really good molds going on here, very crisp. We've got no flash, you know, we've got our pilots here with their parachutes going on. Turn this over, and we've got all sorts of ground crew, which we can sort of have different headwear, from the helmets to like to their hats. And as you can see, we've got all sorts of different poses, rearming. You know, this is looking, you know, like some really good, nice 1/48 scale ground crew. Moving along, yeah, you know, we've got all these different carts for different jobs to sort of, you know, make all this sort of ground crew business going on look all really cool. And that should all look really nice, and I'm not really seeing any nasty ejector pin marks in any nasty places. It's all looking really crisp, nice and new, no flash, you know, not really any problems with this looking at all. And as I say, I just want to kind of blast through this. I want to show the ground crew mainly, but you know, in this bag we have which one's this? I think this is the refueler, right? Because we've got a refueler, and then we've also got some sort of a truck or something like that, and they do look really cool. Hopefully we might build these in the in this video build. I'm not sure, but it would be cool if we did. And of course you do get our Hawker Hurricane, which is all in this bag you've already seen. We'll be getting this out in a bit. So here we are with the Hurricane build, and as you can see, I've really sort of moved it along in rapid video build sort of fashion. This here, all the cockpit here has just gone together actually really well. No real problems at all. You know, I've just glued it together and I've just basically painted down a base coat. What I mean by base is I've just whacked on silver, I've just whacked on our interior green, painted bits black. I've done no weathering or anything like that, and it's you know, looking good and ready for some sort of weathering. Now with this Hurricane cockpit, I want to do a basic cockpit, but what I want to do is I want to go off with our Spitfire and I want to do an advanced cockpit. So before I go off and do that, I just want to show you a bit of decaling here. Now it's a little bit different to our standard decaling in the sense that you know, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be decaling on top of our instrument display panel, and we've got all sorts of raised bits going on and everything like that. So I'm going to show you the way I do it to, you know, get our decal to conform. Well, first off, right, if we have the chance to cut our decal down, then we'll cut our decal down just like we have on here. Now it's probably not the best detailed decal going on here. There are parts on here. If we get a blade, right, and try and keep you on camera, right, we get a blade, and there are parts on here that we don't actually need. Right, now you don't have to get your blade and dig it down and actually cut through the paper. You know, the decal film is really thin. We don't really need to apply much pressure. Okay, so I'm just sort of cutting out the bits I don't need, and then what I can also do, because there's a little bit down there we don't need that, and then what I can do is sort of like get segments of the dials. Right, so there's 3 dials just here, right, and I can just cut them out, or should I say we cut them enough so that when we apply some water to this, you know, the film's going to be cut and that'll slide off. So I'm going to cut the rest of these into segments and dip it in some water. So here's our decal now, all you know, soaked in water, and you'll notice that our decals are now sliding across the paper. So what we want to do is remove these bits that we've cut, the ones that we don't need, because they're, well, not very good, to be honest. There's just one there, right, there's probably a little bit just here. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So let's take this first little segment. Hopefully you can just see that if I just get it with my paintbrush and I can just get it up, you can just see that little segment there. Right, if you've got a bit of you know, decal you don't want attached to it, just either try and cut it or just a little bit of a pull should get rid of it. Right, now what I want to do now is if you go to Genesis Models website, you'll see there's a tutorial on decaling, and you know, that's a nice procedure to follow for decaling. But when it comes to these kind of, you know, we've got lots of raised areas and everything to deal with here. Right, what I like to do is I like to just skip the micro sol and just come straight in with I like to skip the micro set and come straight in with micro sol. Now remember, micro sol really does wrinkle up your decals, and it's really a method you don't really want to be using. Really, it is a little bit risky in the sense that we could basically really wrinkle up these decals really quickly and almost sort of ruin them. Right, so you've got to be careful. it might not be a bad idea to test sort of like a little bit of a bit of the decal we've cut off here that isn't, you know, what we're going to be using, to just see how badly does it wrinkle up. Because if it wrinkles up really bad with some of the thin decals out there, it can actually just be impossible to do this. Right, so what I'm doing now is I've just put our micro sole down, and then I'm going to put right on top, right, our decal. Now with a little pin in a little hand drill here, we can just maneuver our decal very carefully and very quickly. This is sort of like the risky side to this. This is why this is a bit more of an intermediate advanced way of applying decals, because, you know, this microsole will wrinkle up pretty quick and make it not very easy to deal with and potentially ruin the decal after, you know, a short period of time. So you want to just quickly whack it on, quickly maneuver it, and then we want to leave it. So we're going to just leave that to dry for maybe just a couple of minutes. We're ready for the next bit. So as you can see, I've just left this for about just 2 minutes, and I've also put all the rest on as well. And then really, like we do with any other decals, we get our micro sole and we just paint it on top. Right, now because we've got all these raised areas in which to basically try and get the decal to conform, we you know, we want to be, you know, don't be shy with the micro sole, and we want to hit it and hit it and hit it again and again and again until it conforms. If all else fails, we've got good old Tamiya extra thin cement that we can just very carefully whack down, but that is quite a drastic sort of decaling way of getting things to conform, because you can destroy the decals with Tamiya extra thin cement. But basically, as I say, keep whacking on the micro sole until it conforms all nicely, and that should be all good. Forgot to mention, put a gloss coat on before I put the decals on, just to kind of protect our paintwork, and then you're probably going to want to put a gloss coat on top of this to protect the decals once the decals have dried.